Hey there, welcome to Craft Central Designs and happy holidays. Today I have for you a beautiful Christmas angel decor piece. This angel would be so lovely placed on a mantle or a foyer table or a shelf or even placed on the limbs of a Christmas tree. If you created a hole in the bottom of the styrofoam cone that is the body of the angel, you could even make it a tree topper. This angel is relatively quick, an easy project, believe it or not, it is. And it requires only a minimal amount of materials. I love this one, and I hope you love it as well. This is the back of the angel. Welcome to my channel today and every day. And if you're not currently a subscriber, I hope you will become one so you will not miss any of the projects I have coming up in 2025. Okay, let me show you how I created this beautiful angel. These are the materials that you will need to create this angel. I got this styrofoam cone from the Dollar Tree. I believe it's 6.5 inches tall, something like that. I have an ornament here, a silver glittery ornament, also from a container of such like that, of ornaments from the Dollar Tree. Check before you insert that into your cone to be sure that the glitter is consistent all over it. Some of Dollar Tree's items are, leave something to be desired. Let's put it that way. But look through the tube and you'll find a good one, I'm sure. Okay, this is a Celebrate tool from Michaels, but you could find tool anywhere. It's 6 inches wide. Now, you're going to need a needle and thread, and don't be intimidated by that. This is really super easy. If you're not a person who sews, I'm going to show you how easy this is. You're also going to need another type of tool. Now I'm using a snowball mesh, again, from the Dollar Tree. Okay, but if you don't have any of that on hand, you could use any type of tool. I also chose a tool with silver sparkles on it, but again, you choose whatever you like. I have there some little pearls from the Crafter's Square section. They're actually pearl beads, and I have some wire. And I have an assortment of ribbon. I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to use, so as typically I do, I gather up anything I think might be a potential ribbon for that particular piece. I do use a 1.5-inch satin wired ribbon for the bow on the back of the angel, which I absolutely love, and I'm going to urge you to place that on because it's such a beautiful addition to that piece. Now I have here these little jeweled pins. They're just little ornamental pins. I think I got them on Temu, but you can find things like this at Hobby Lobby very easily. Now you can use that or not use that. You could also use maybe a satin rose or some type of sparkly gem, or you can make just a really nice cluster of ribbons for the neck of the angel. And you can also apply some lace around there, but we'll go into that more later. I'm just giving you options here. You're going to need a measuring tool, some Aleene's Tacky glue. I believe I do use some hot glue, of course, scissors. And I believe I didn't use a pipe cleaner on this one. Okay, so at the very top of this cone, I'm going to cut off about 1.5 inches. I just used I can't speak today. I just used a serrated edge knife from the kitchen, and I just took that right off the top. Now, the reason why I did that is because my tool is only 6 inches wide. So I want that tool to consume the length of my cone, but not, I had that extra 1.5 inches there that was going to create a problem at the bottom of my angel. So I just trimmed that top off. Okay, now I'm going to take just some type of little tool. You can use your little picker tool from Dollar Tree or whatever and create a little hole where you're going to place the top of that that ornament, the cap of the ornament. And that ornament is going to sit right on top there. Now, where I was pointing there, that's where we're going to be wrapping the gown of the angel around. It's going to go right around the neck area of the angel. Now, I took my tool. I cut 4 pieces at 50 inches. The reason why I'm using 4 pieces is to thicken up the angel's gown. Now, I had plenty on this spool to accomplish that with a little bit left over. So the tool comes on a bolt. No matter where you purchase it, you're going to find that it comes like that. And it's almost always 6 inches wide. This one happens to have silver little sparkles on it, which makes it all the more suitable and beautiful for this piece. So I'm in the process now of cutting all 4 of my pieces that are 50 inches. Now I'm going to lay all of those pieces on top of one another, and I'm going to try and get it as even as possible so that when I go to gather this tool with my needle and thread, it will be even. Okay, now I took some straight pins and I just pinned it just so that those pieces wouldn't come apart from one another. And that would help me also just to manage it while I gather up this tool. Now, if you're not familiar with gathering with a needle and thread, this is really very easy. You're going to thread your needle and place a knot at the end. That's very important that you place the knot in the end, because this is going to keep your tool from coming off of your thread. So place your knot in the end. You want to make it it's a double thread. You want to make it maybe around just a foot, just so you have a nice bit of thread area to work with. Now I'm going to start at one end. I'm going to keep my tool laid out on the table. And then I'm just going to go and feed my needle through the tool at the top, leaving about 1/4 of an inch at the top, in between the thread and the top of the tool. Now, I usually go about maybe 4 or 5 stitches, and then I stop, and then I just gather my tool right on that thread. Do you see that? So basically what you're doing is you're going in and out, in and out, in and out of your tool with your needle, and you're just threading that tool onto your thread. And this is what's going to create the gown of the angel. So I go, like I said, around 5 stitches, then I stop. Now you see the reason why you needed that knot in the end, because if you didn't have the knot, that tool would be sliding right off of your thread. So be sure you don't forget your knot. I think I even double knotted mine. Okay, another 5 stitches here. I'm taking my time showing you this, just in case you're not familiar with just hand gathering. Now, as I go along, I just take out my straight pins and I pop them back into my little pin cushion that I also got at Dollar Tree. Now, sometimes you can find tulle at the Dollar Tree. I'm not certain. I believe it's 6 inches as well. But I would go more for a more quality tulle. That's what I'm going to urge you to do, which you could very easily pick up at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. Hopefully you can find one with sparkles on it. I think that really adds to this piece. You probably, I'm certain, could find it on Amazon, because Amazon has absolutely everything. So you could try Amazon as well. So I am going to continue on doing 5 to 6 stitches at a time, stopping together until I get all the way to the other end of my 50 inches of tulle. Just feeding it through, gathering it up, pulling my thread, taking the pins out as I go. And you see, I'm just gathering that up, and that's going to go right around the neck of my angel. And I'm showing you there. All I have to do is now finish up, and this is not a long process. Took me maybe 10 minutes to do. When you get to the other end, tie a knot, or take your needle and just feed it through the end of your tulle, just to close it up. You want to make sure that that end everything doesn't start pulling off of the thread. So when you get to the end, just take your needle, do a few stitches to lock that closed. And now you have the gown for your angel. And that is the hardest part of this process, which I don't think is hard at all, but I'm just making the point that if you think there's any aspect of this angel that's a little bit intimidating, probably that would have been it, but it's really not difficult at all. Now, I'm going to be placing this on. Now, you have to be careful because this is styrofoam and super hot glue, and it kind of tends to melt it a little bit. But I'm just trying to get a basic adherence of my gown on the top. Now, I place this right inside the perimeter or the line of the top of that cone. Remember, we cut that off. Now, I do take some Aleene's tacky glue then, and I go around and just insert some dabs of glue under there, especially at the closure there. Now, all you see me doing here is hot gluing, but that's, again, I'm just trying to get that quick, immediate hold, and then I'm going to go around and secure it with Aleene's tacky. So now you have 4 layers of tulle for the gown of this angel. And this is what makes this angel look so beautiful, with this very full, beautiful, glittery angel's gown. All right, so I put some hot glue in there, in that hole that I created for the cap. Obviously, placing the cap inside of the hole. And now, I am not putting a face on my angel. If you want to do that, feel free. But I think it's beautiful just plain. But, you do you. Or if you want to place a wood bead on top of there at an appropriate size, of course. You could do that and then put a face on that. That's completely up to you. I'm doing just a glitter head, and that's it, with no face. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take a narrow ribbon. Mine is a white narrow ribbon with a little bit of silver trim going down the edges. And I'm going to place that around the neck of my angel. Now, I did go around with my scissors and trim up just a little bit any little netted pieces that were popping up and sticking up there. So what I'm going to do is just kind of delineate the neck of my angel. And I'm going to place a narrow ribbon around there, and I'm going to leave enough so that I have ribbon tails trailing down the front of my angel. Now, what I did was, as you can see here, I crisscrossed my ribbon. Then furthermore, what I did was I kind of poked that narrow ribbon into the neck area. This kind of helped to give the angel a little bit more of a delineation of the neck. And it also helped to press down those raw edges where we gathered that tulle. It kind of helped to finish it off, in plain words. So now I have a nice long piece. I want to guess that at least 14 inches of ribbon. But you can easily just measure that off before you go to glue it down. I always overestimate. I'd rather have too much than too little. So I glued it down at the area where I crisscrossed the ribbon. Now I'm going to take my little pin. It actually came with a pin on the back. And I took my wire cutters and I snipped off the pin. I'm going to glue my little embellishment down right there at that area at the neck where I crisscrossed those ribbons. Now, like I said, you could use a satin ribbon bow. A satin rose. You could use you could create a nice little pretty bow to sit right there at the neck. You could place some kind of sparkly gem there. This is just what I chose to use for mine. So I just glued that down very simply with hot glue. I did end up putting a little bow right at the neck above that little jewel piece with a very translucent, very narrow ribbon. And I'm going to show you that in a little bit. But just little added touches. I love details, so as you all know that about me, I love it. All right, now I'm going to use that snowball mesh that I had gotten at the Dollar Tree. It's 6 inches wide, so I'm going to cut 6-inch length pieces, and I'm going to place my finger in the very center of the square, because now it's a square, 6 by 6. I'm going to pinch it. I'm going to show you again. Place my finger in the center, and I just pull it and pinch it. I'm going to create 3 of these. This is what's going to make up each of the wings of my angel. I absolutely love this mesh tool for this, or for this snowball tool for this. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out 6 pieces, 3 for each angel wing. Okay, now I'm going to again use a needle and thread. Very simply, what I'm going to do is just thread a needle, put a knot on the end, because this is how I'm going to attach these 3 pieces for each angel wing together. I'm going to pinch it in the center, showing you again, and then I just gather it with my hand. That's the first one. Now I'm going to take another one, right in the center, pinch it, and gather it. And then one more, pinch it in the center, gather it, and now all of those are going to be placed together. So at the base, where I'm holding it with my fingers, I'm just going to simply take a needle and thread, poke it right through there, attaching all 3 together. I'm just going to pull that needle through, secure it maybe about 3 to 4 times with a stitch, and that's how I created my angel wings. This project was so much fun to do. I absolutely love the way it turned out. And I kind of just was winging it as I went along, like really just figuring it out. And it was such fun to see it all come together the way it did. Okay, so I put a few stitches in there. I'm just going to make sure that's all locked in. Put a last minute stitch just to close it off. And that's how I created my angel wing. Now, of course, I'm going to repeat the process for the other angel wing. I'm going to trim up any excess netting pieces sticking out there or tulle pieces. And there you have one angel wing. And like I said, I'm going to do the exact same thing with the other stack of snowball mesh tulle. And here you have 2 angel wings. We're going to secure these onto the back of the angel here in just a bit with simply hot glue. That's all you'll need. It's going to go attach right to the angel's gown. I'm going to show you that here in a bit. So what I'm doing here is just adding some extra Aleene's glue, which is what Aleene's tacky glue specifically. I told you that I ended up doing that just to secure everything. That ribbon is around the neck, and I'm just being sure everything is all secure. With, again, my favorite tacky glue, Aleene's tacky. Now, one of my favorite parts of this angel is the bow on the back. Oh my goodness, do I love this. So this is my little block that I created with nails. And this helps me to make really beautiful single loop on each side bows. So I'm using a 1.5 inch satin wired ribbon. I believe that one's from Paper Mart, but you could get that easily at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to make a bow for the back of my angel. My satin bow is going to turn out to be about 3 to 3.5 inches wide. So each of those loops is around 1.5 inches to 1 3/4. So this is my little bow maker. One of these days I'm going to show you how I made it, because I've had a lot of questions about it and actually requests that I do a tutorial on how I created this, because it makes the most perfect bows, finished looking bows. So I'm not going to go into detail about exactly how I create those in this tutorial, but I am going to show you all how I do that in a future video. So you're going to see here in just a second how this creates the most beautiful finished, very elegant looking bow. It has a beautiful center, and it's just gorgeous. Look at that. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to leave the tails because I love the tails going down the back of the angel's gown. This is also going to be the piece. Sorry, my hand's a little out of frame there. I'm just shaping my loops. This is going to be the bow that's going to go in between the angel's wings in the back. So you'll see how this all just really helps to not only to add beauty to the piece, but also to help finish it. And it's going to go right back there in the center of the back. I will be angling those tails, certainly not dovetailing them. They're going to be angled. Now, I believe it's time to attach the wings to the angel. Now, I'm going to be going down from the back of the head. No, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to create the halo. Yep, that's what we're going to do now. Okay, so I pull off a piece of wire. I want to say I just pull off about maybe 12 inches, just so you have enough. So what I'm going to be doing is creating a halo. So I want the piece that's going to go down the back to be around 3.5 inches. And then the wire is going to go up behind the head of the angel, and then I create the halo. So what I'm doing here is I'm using another little styrofoam cone, but you could use anything that's round, like a medicine bottle or something like that. And just wrap it around and create a circle with your wire. And this is going to be the halo. Now, I liked using little pearl beads for my halo. So my halo is pearls. But you could do this very easily with a silver glittery pipe cleaner. Now, not a Dollar Tree pipe cleaner. I'm sorry, but no, not a Dollar Tree pipe cleaner. They're very flimsy. I'm talking about like a very nice quality glitter pipe cleaner. And I would even go so far as to wrap two pipe cleaners, just twist them around one another so it's thicker. I would go with that. But I would get something from Michael's or Hobby Lobby as far as a pipe cleaner. Dollar Tree pipe cleaners are just, you will never see those in my craft room. Let's put it that way. Okay, enough for Dollar Tree. I'm picking on them today. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is feed my little pearls onto my wire. Now, I use tiny pearls. These are the ones that I actually got at the Crafter Square section at the Dollar Tree. And I figure about how big around I want my halo by just putting it above the head or that little silver ornament and just seeing what looks appropriate as far as size that's going to be of the halo that's going to be over the top of the head of the angel. So I go ahead and I feed all of the pearls on that I need for that part of the halo. And then when I got around to the end, I just twisted my wire to keep those pearls stable on the wire. I twisted it a couple of times. Then I snipped off one of the wires because I decided that 2 wires was too difficult for me to get the pearls onto. So I snipped off one of those wires, and now I'm going to take a little bit of a bigger pearl, just slightly bigger, and I'm going to feed it onto that single wire. And this is going to be how I'm going to attach the halo to the back of the head and also to the back of the body. And again, just to be sure that your halo is the correct size, place it over the head and just make sure that you're getting it right. That's what I did multiple times before I placed it on my angel. I wanted to be sure I had it just right. So I'm going to continue just placing all of my pearls on there. And when I get to the end of the piece, I want to say maybe I did that long wire piece there where I'm feeding all of my pearls. I think that was probably around 2.5 to 3 inches. Again, it's going to actually be glued to the back of the head of the angel, and then it's going to go down a little bit over the back of the angel. And this way, I'm sure that that halo and its attachment are going to be sturdy on that piece. Okay, so I have that all done. Yeah, I want to say that was around 3 inches, that piece there you see in the palm of my hand. And then just to be sure those pearls are nice and stable on there, I put a little bit of Aleene's Tacky Glue and I let that dry. Now I have my halo all completed. I just have to put it back onto the back of the angel. Okay, now to place the wings on the angel, you want to be certain where the exact front of the angel is. So you want to be sure and align that up properly so that you're placing your angel wings on evenly onto the back. And it's more on the back of the angel than the side, because those puffs that you created with that snowball mesh, the wings, they're going to really poke out there. So we're going to attach them to the back, but not exactly in the middle of the back. I find the midline of the angel. And again, pay attention to where your embellishments are in the front, because that marks the front of the angel. And where the bow, or not the bow, but the ribbon is created there. It does get a bow later. That's why I said that bit. So find the middle of the back of the angel, and then about, I want to say, an inch to the left and an inch to the right, you're going to hot glue your wings to the angel, and it's going to be about 1.5 inches down from the head. Okay, so again, 1.5 inches down from the head, and slightly left and right from the midline. Now, what goes right in the middle is going to be the halo, the stem of the halo, and then that beautiful satin bow is going to go right in between the wings. Now, be sure that you have your wings even. I'm sorry, I should have moved my camera a little bit upward so that you could see exactly the head there, but this was very important to get this right, so that my wings of my angel were standing out from the sides as evenly as possible when you look at it from the front. Now, in order to work on the angel, I just put my hand up underneath the angel's gown. And here what I'm doing is just pressing those wings down and holding them with the hot glue on there. Now, the beautiful thing about these wings is that you can manipulate them to look exactly how you want them to. And this you will determine when you get everything all finished, and you can just play with them and position them any way you like. And if they're not sitting exactly the way you want, so easy, you could take some Aleene's tacky glue and just put a dab of glue here and there and get them to behave just the way you want them to. This piece is really easy, and if you think about it, there's so few materials required to make this really beautiful piece. Okay, now I'm showing, I'm sorry, my hand's back in frame again. And then on the back of my angel, I'm going to make sure that I have my wings out of the way. I'm going to open up the back area of that angel because I have to put down the halo, stem, and the bow on the back. Okay, now I took another ribbon. This is a sheer, very translucent ribbon, and it was just so delicate and pretty. And I just thought she should have a little bow right at her neck over that little embellishment piece. So I took my block out again, and I'm just creating a really tiny bow. I believe it was 1.5 inches. And again, this bow maker is so awesome. I just crisscross my ribbons, bring it up over the top, feed it under, and then I just tie a knot. And oh boy, does this create some really awesome little bows. I use these a lot when I do, use this block a lot when I do ornaments where I place a bow on the ornament. Oh, it just really works great. Okay, so I have this little tiny bow, and this ribbon is very delicate and just pretty and just oh so perfect for the neck of this angel. And I'm just going to leave those tails on there again to trail down the front of the angel. And then I'm just going to put a little tiny dab of hot glue right at the base of the head of the angel. And I'm going to pop that bow right on there. Okay, now I have glued down the stem of my halo. And I let that sit. I used Aleene's tacky glue. I used hot glue for the short-term hold. And I just let it sit there and dry up against the back of the head and the back of the angel. Now I'm going to use Aleene's tacky glue, a combination of that with hot glue. Put it on the back of my bow, and I'm going to place that right in between the angel's wings. Oh my goodness. Love, love. So once I get that nice and dry on there, I'm going to adjust the loops of the bow, and then I'm going to angle the tails on my satin bow that's on the back of that angel. I love this. I think it's just so, so pretty. Okay, so I'm angling my tails. And if you want, you could, ripple it if you like a little bit, or turn the tips of the tails up. That's up to you. But I definitely wanted them trailing down the back of that gown. Now my halo's in place. Now if you do the pipe cleaner, you just do that the same way. The stem of the halo, you just glue that down before you put the bow on. And I have my little tiny, little delicate bow in there. Now at this point, you can start adjusting your angel's wings, placing them exactly the way you want. You can manipulate them, pull them this way and that way. And then if they're not sitting exactly the way you want, like I said, use a dab of glue. And this is my angel, and I absolutely love it. I love the way this turned out. I think it's absolutely exquisite, and I hope you love it as well. If you rub off any of the glitter while you're handling the ornament, you can use a little dab, tiny little dab of glue or Mod Podge, and you can actually fix that by sprinkling an ultra fine silver glitter. Mine, I managed to get it on there without doing any damage to it, but I happened to think of that, what if you, with the handling of it, rubbed off the glitter? And so that would be a solution to that if that happens. But again, just arrange your wings, and this is a done piece. And I'm showing you here that tacky glue, and I'm showing you if you need to put any dabs. If you, really are particular about the way your wings are sitting, like me, I think I did use a couple dabs of glue. Then just put that on there, and they'll never show because that dries perfectly clear. Now, if you want to try to put this on your tree topper, you could take some type of tool to create a small hole up into the body of that styrofoam cone. Just be careful, and you should be able to feed that top piece on the top of the tree that pokes up right through the bottom of the cone, and then you will have a tree topper. I would say this would be best for a medium to small tree. And here you have it. Let me know what you think of this one in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you're not currently a subscriber, I hope you will become one. And as well, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this tutorial, and one last look at the back, which I love the back. Okay, so until next time, you all take care.